Well, hello YouTube. I am coming at you live from my fifth wheel. Um, it's been one hell of a week. I haven't made a video in a bit because I have definitely been a bit depressed lately. It was my son's birthday, and their dad not only went to court without my knowledge, lied in court, didn't even give me the opportunity to defend myself, took my kids in my home, left me on the street. And over the past 2 years, I have been through some shit, let me tell you. But I'm not going to get into that right now. Basically, what it boils down to is he has moved my children twice under his girlfriend's name, so I couldn't find them, and neither could the court, without notifying me or the courts. Not only that, he's back to not even answering his damn phone. He didn't answer his phone for a year. I called pretty much daily. And then he started allowing me a phone call with the kids 2 days a week, even though I called every day. All my mail was sent back. He wouldn't accept any money from me. Would not let me talk to my children during the holidays or on their birthdays. And what it comes down to is he's selfish. When I got to speak to my children for the first time in over a year, they told me that they had a new mommy. When I told them I was coming to visit for my son's birthday and that I had their address because I did a background check. I tried to avoid invading his privacy, but yeah, you have my kids. And they tell me they miss their mom and they want me. So I'm getting off track again. I basically spent my son's birthday on the floor in a ball of tears, thinking I was gonna die, because it's not even my pain, it's theirs that bothers me so much. Because at the end of the day, it's not about him and it's not about me, it's about our children and what they want. And I have bent over backwards to work with this dude. I've done everything he asked when I didn't even have to, because I never did anything wrong in the first place. And that's how fucked up our system is that somebody can go to court, make any accusation that they want about you, say that they had you served, and meanwhile, if you don't show because you don't know that there's a court date, you can lose everything based on somebody's word. Why he's doing this to his children, I don't know. I've known this dude since I was 12. We were together for 11 years, and we had our issues, but like, I never expected this of him. I know my babies cry for me, and the fact that he can ignore my phone calls and not pass along my messages and return my mail and not accept any help because it would probably go against whatever story he's telling people, it's just sick. I'm not perfect, but I was a great mom. I am a great mom. Even with my babies away from me, everything I do is with them in mind, to make this world a better place for them to live in. I don't know how adults can be so selfish, how children can be smarter than adults. Maybe it's because they keep things simple. I don't know. All I know is that nobody wants to take jurisdiction over this because it's a mess. New Mexico doesn't want to, which is where I live. Arizona doesn't want to, which is where they live. And Washington doesn't want to, which is where we all lived. So, the police had the balls in 2 states to tell me that it wasn't their job to find my children and do a welfare check on them. What the fuck is their job then? Like, to roll around harassing people who are minding their own business and butting into other people's lives and ruining them when they don't even know the situations that they're walking into because they weren't invited. But when a mother who's been desperate to find her children call for help, they don't do a damn thing. Protect and serve just themselves. Like, I'm not naive enough to think that every cop is bad cop, but as a whole, they haven't impressed me. I do more protecting and serving in my community than I've seen them do. And that's straight up. I put that. And I've proven that. So, they need to do better. Yep. Meanwhile, my babies miss their mom. And honestly, moving my kids across state lines, my ex-husband's looking at bedtime. But who's that going to benefit? I mean, yeah, he needs a dose of reality for sure, because that dude has never seen struggle in his life. Like, not real struggle. He doesn't even have a clue how much life can be like TV or the movies. But he's gonna find out. But I don't want to do anything so drastic as to hurt my children, because he is their father. And I'd rather my kids see me be the bigger person. Like, because their dad's behavior, that's not the example that should be set for them. So, I'm in a constant internal battle when sheer panic hits me and I just need to go find them and hold them, and doing it the right way so that I don't give him a leg to stand on. Every system in this country is broke. The education system, if your child falls outside the variable of normal, then they're singled out and labeled, and they have to carry that with them, instead of teachers finding out how children learn best and adapting to their needs. They just label them as a problem, and the child then lashes out because they're frustrated and angry. No one can understand them, and people, adults who should be encouraging them and supporting them, make them feel stupid, and that's terrible. Everything's a competition, and that's terrible too. We all in it to win it, right? We're all on the same team. Life's not a competition. It's a journey. And then, kids start getting in trouble, and they end up in the prison system, get institutionalized there, and that's a whole nother world. And then when they get out, they're set up for failure because they're labeled a felon or whatever, and they don't get the same opportunities. I have met a lot of people who have been to jail, prison, or felons, and they are some of the most intelligent, artistic, talented people. that have basically been failed by our country. Not only that, veterans, day in, day out, like, they went and fought wars for us, and they come home, and their families and friends can't deal with their PTSD, don't even try to understand, or give up way too early, and they end up on the street, doing their thing. Because once you're in that, like, once you become a soldier, that's not something that you retire from, or that's not a mentality you get out of. You know, your brain literally changes, and you see things in a whole new light, and you can't go back to normal. People go to rehab, and instead of being supportive and encouraging, families and friends are judgmental and pretentious, and they turn their nose up like they're better when they have a medicine cabinet full of prescribed medication that's probably worse than whatever their friend or relative is in rehab for. But lame. You take somebody who's struggling with life and self-medicating, you put them down, you put labels on them, you tell them they're going to relapse and fail, like, or at least 92% of them will. And how the fuck do you expect to rehabilitate them? And do you know what led them to drugs in the first place? Probably you. Yeah, people, and people being hateful, people being judgmental, that people making people feel less, like nothing's ever good enough. It causes people to become introverted, right? And no matter, I know for me, my whole life, I tried so hard to do everything right, and I did. For, my 20s, I got straight A's in college. I worked my ass off. I dedicated my life to my family. I never got in any trouble. I didn't so much as have a traffic ticket. I didn't drink, I didn't smoke, nothing. I was a model wife and mother. I love being a mother. I love being a mom. And throughout my divorce, I struggled. And so, what was the exhaustion and being overwhelmed and drinking more than usual and not getting any help when I asked for it from my family, I decided to get help. Because nothing ever happened. My children were always cared for and loved. But I remember waking up the morning I went to rehab I just woke up with the thought that I was hungover, I didn't feel good, and what if my baby's gonna wake me up? And I got on my computer and I found rehab, and I was there that night. I didn't have to go. I chose to. And I was crucified for it by my ex-husband and my family. And I lost everything, and I ended up out on the street for it. Tell me how that's fair.
I just don't get it. Be kinder to each other. Set that example for your children. My kids may not be with me, but I'm fighting like hell to get them back, just to see them. And I won't stop. The things I've been through in the past 2 years, I didn't even believe were real. Like, not really. But there's a lesson in everything. And every day, every decision I make, everything I do is still and always will be with my kids in mind. And I'm still a mom. And I meet so many different interesting people every day. And my purpose is to help the lost find their way. Because everybody is somebody's son or daughter. And I'm a mom. So, to my ex-husband, I hope you have a change of heart. Because I don't see why we can't work things out between the two of us. We're both adults. And it's about your kids and what they want. And we both know they want their mom. And to everybody else. Take care of each other. Be kinder. Try to understand and listen instead of judge and condemn. And thank you for listening to me.